Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we're going to be going over my second semester at a junior college. So after my first semester, I actually enjoyed it, and I actually thought maybe college was for me. So I decided to come back for a second semester, and I kept my major the same of computer science because I actually enjoyed it. And this time I ended up taking 4 classes. So my first class I took was CSP 17. This was an introduction to programming concepts and methodologies. So this class was taught in Python. It was pretty much like an introduction to kind of like to a programming language. We learned about functions, variables, loops, all that. This class was cool. And like I said, it was taught in Python. The professor was cool. I ended up getting a B though. I was really good at programming in Python, but this professor, she made us do something called flowcharts. And we would have planned out like our solution to like a problem on a flowchart and then actually code it out on Python. I would just like skip the flowchart or make them like pretty sloppy and then just like actually write the code and get the solution. I would get the solution every time, but my flowchart was pretty bad, so that's why I ended up getting a B. But this class was cool. It got me interested in coding, which I'm still doing to this day, and pretty happy I took it. I'm happy with my B. I kind of earned the B because I didn't spend as much time in the flowchart as I should have. So this class was cool. CSP 17, that was cool. Then I took English 1B, another class for my general education for a requirement. So this class we would actually like meet up in person, and the teacher, the professor, he had like a doctorate in English, so this class was tough. I ended up getting a B, which I'm not the greatest in English, so I deserve a B. And this class was, I think it took place like during the middle of like the COVID pandemic when the virus was still in China. I remember he assigned like a paper we had due, and we would meet up. I think it was 2 times a week. We would meet up Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then so he assigned it a couple weeks back on a Tuesday, and we were gonna turn it on a Thursday. So I show up on a Tuesday. We were told the paper's due next. I show up on a Tuesday, and we were told the paper is due next Thursday, but we should probably turn it in today because there's a COVID. There's COVID was like going rampant, like in China, and it was starting to like move all over the world. And he told us this COVID thing might shut our class down, so you might want to turn your paper in for some credit rather than no credit. And in my head, I'm thinking, man, what are the odds that COVID comes to the United States? It's in China, it's in Europe. What are the odds that it comes close to us and affects us? So, but I was still gonna turn my paper in because I wanted my credit, man. I spent a bunch of hours on that paper, so I was gonna turn it in. And I remember talking to some dude. He was like, he told me like, man, what are the odds it comes over here? And like I'm gonna take that extra 2 days, and I'm gonna finish my paper and do it right. And then I remember I came. I didn't read the email that like everything was shut down. I came in on a Thursday to like campus I think it was like at 8:30, and I remember like it being like a ghost town. It was kind of creepy because my usual routine, I followed it, and then I was going upstairs. I was like 8 something. I was about to go to class, and there was like no one there. And there was some other dude that showed up, and he told me that COVID actually shut down the college, and like all the in-person classes were now on Zoom. So that was pretty crazy. I'm just glad I turned my paper in. And the other dude, my buddy, he never actually turned it in because he was gonna turn it in on that Thursday, but we got shut down on that Thursday. So that was pretty crazy. It was like a surreal experience, like a virus coming from like China all the way to like Stockton, California, and it affecting you, and it's shutting down your classes. So that was pretty cool. I ended up getting a B. I deserved a B. I was happy with it. Then I took Health Education 1, or just Health Ed. The class was easy. Reading from a textbook, kind of like common sense. Don't smoke, don't drink. We learned about sexual intercourse, having kids, all that. Easy A. Taking a couple quizzes a week, that was easy. And then I took Math 92S. So there's a pretty interesting story with this class. So my professor, he wanted me to take pre-calculus 1 because he asked me if I was good at math in high school, and I told him I was all right. So he enrolled me in pre-calculus 1. And this class, it was a pre-calculus course and an algebra 2 course. We would first do the pre-calculus course, and then we would go to like a lab or a support course for like algebra 2. And I lasted like a week in this class. So at first I was doing all right. We were just factoring. I remember that from high school, and then we got a little bit like more complicated. I don't even remember what it was at the time, but it was just a little bit more complicated, and I felt lost because before we started the course, we took like a test to see how far we were in like algebra 2, which was like the pre-calculus. Like most of the topics were like algebra 2, and we took like a test to see how many topics we knew. We were graded on from 0 to 100%. 100% means we know all the topics, and then zero means we knew none of them. So I took the test, and I ended up scoring a 30%. And like kids fresh out of high school, like some Asian kids, I remember some of them got like a 90 and 100 on the first day, and then they did the other topics and they got 100% completion. And I was like kind of feeling down on myself. Cause like I'm over here, I think I was like 20 at the time, 20 years old, like 2 years out of high school, and these kids got 100%, and I got 30 on it. And then I remember I was in a quick college right then and there, cause like for my major you need to go up to like calculus 2, and I couldn't even do pre-calculus 1. And I thought to myself, man, how am I going to do this? I should just drop out and just go back. I was working at the time part time. I should just go get a full time job. I was thinking to myself. I called my little sister. I was like down. I'm like, what am I going to do? If I can't even do pre-calculus 1, how am I going to do pre-calculus 2 and then calculus 1 and 2? And then so I told the professor I'm not ready for this, and I just dropped the class. And then luckily there was a late starting class, which was this class, Math 92S, which was like a little bit of like Algebra 1 topics, and then like a real big focus on Algebra 2 topics. And you went like not super slow, you went a lot slower on the topics, so you could take your time to learn them. And the only thing, it was late starting, so I still had time to enroll, but it was full. And then I remembered I told my counselor, man, hey, I'm trying to get into this class so I can get better at pre-calculus 1, but it's full. But he told me just show up, because like a lot of the people don't even show up on day one. So I showed up on day one, and they were calling roll, and they actually like called my name. It was Ruben, but it was some other guy. I got all excited. I raised my hand, and then he said the last name, and I'm like, dang, that ain't me. And then I said, yeah, my name's Ruben. I'm on the wait list, but I'm actually trying to get enrolled. If you don't show up, can I just take your spot? And then the professor started laughing, and he's like, yeah, if you don't show up for 2 more classes and you're here and you do all the work, you can take a spot. So like 14 people dropped. They didn't even show up. They just took the class. They didn't even show up. So there was like a lot of spots. So I enrolled into that class, and then I just started doing good. Shout out to the professor. Shout out Professor Williams. This man was like 6'3", and when I tell you he looked like Tom Brady, he looked like Tom Brady. And this man had so much energy, man. This man got me through intermediate algebra and through pre-calculus 1, and he gave me like a great foundation to do pre-calculus 2, calc 1 and 2. And just shout out to him, man. This man was super cool. He sat us down when COVID came over, and he told us like, this is pretty serious. We're gonna go online, but he we would meet at twice a week again. He told us we're gonna meet online, but I'm gonna do like a live Zoom meeting each time we meet online. And only like 7 people showed up to like his Zoom meetings, but this man would keep his energy up. Super cool professor. Shout out to him, man. He got me through. He pretty much got me through math. He got me like on the right track through math. So shout out to him. And yeah, so my second semester was cool. I got 2 B's and 2 A's. My programming class, I liked it. I learned a lot. My English class, it felt like a really like college course, which I'm happy about. Until we got shut down midway. Got a B. I deserve a B. Health education, it was an online course. Easy A. Intermediate algebra, man, I worked for this class. I remember staying after class and like helping kids out, and they would help me. So I worked for my A. I needed my A on that. And yeah, shout out Professor Williams. He got me started like in my career for math. And then because of him, I actually got through Calc 2. And then like I didn't drop out of college, because I was actually thinking about dropping out because I couldn't do like simple math. How am I gonna get a programming degree if I can't even do simple math? So that was my second semester of college. I enjoyed it. It was cool till COVID shut everything down, and then we went all online.